Morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Let's go ahead and get this going in 1 sec. Boom. Let me scoot this further. All right. A lot better. All right, guys. Good morning. I wanted to dive a little bit into it again, a little bit quicker, just because I'm looking at EU shorts. Okay. I'm personally looking at some EU shorts, and I know I'm going to dive into it a little bit faster than usual. Usually I break down DXY and everything, but I'm looking at EU shorts because this is a previous area of distribution that really gets my attention right here. Okay, this previous push up. Now we have this breaker, right? This whole push down, and then right in front of it, we have this imbalance right here. So I'm looking at that imbalance to take this price action lower. Okay, this is also in confluence with the dollar. Okay, the dollar being bullish in my eyes, and my daily objective being over there. So I'm going to actually mark that out and put that on my journal for DXY daily. Okay, so that one right here. Okay, and that's my objective for the daily, is this previous daily high over here. So going back to EU again, we did accumulate below the lows, right? We did accumulate down here below the lows, which kind of brings me to think that we may still go a little bit higher, but within this range we do have room to drop. So I'll have some intermediate targets, right? That's the daily opening line. You guys can see we're kind of shorting off a little nice. Really, for me, a shorting opportunity from this area is very high probability to target these lows again. So just looking to even to hold these shorts throughout a longer period of time as well. So getting into this area here, I'm just gonna put an alert there for now. Yeah, this looks really nice so far. This accumulation to continue taking us a little bit higher. Again, we could dip a lot lower. It is a possibility that we come down first and then continue going higher. So there's a risk there that makes this setup a little bit lower probability. But for me, the chance is worth the risk. The risk to reward is definitely there. Okay, let's go glance at indices for now. I have an alert right there, so the alert's gonna hit. Ideally, because this imbalance is a little bit bigger, I'd want it 50% and above. So potentially we come back into this area right here. Maybe even this gap up here. Right above these highs right here. There's another gap right here, 2 gaps right inside that imbalance at the start of it. Also note that we're respecting this 5-minute imbalance here, or this 15-minute imbalance here. Okay, beware that we are respecting this 15-minute imbalance. Yeah, I would only take a U if we came this far up. So I'm gonna continue setting some alerts to the upside as we set up NASDAQ and so forth. NASDAQ weekly objective, we were really close. I'm not sure if we're gonna get that now, but still remains an area of interest to me. NASDAQ, again, I'm long on dollar, so I'd want indices to drop essentially. So maybe while we pulled back into this previous area of distribution, we show some evidence. But honestly, the way we're accumulated below the lows, accumulated here below the low, you know, NASDAQ would be a little bit harder to say that it's going to drop given how strong it is, but we do have some relative equal lows that I want to make note of. Boom. Dow swept previous daily low, still has some relative lows down Dow. Yeah, these imbalances across the board get my attention. These ones, and NASDAQ, the high of it, this top imbalance gets my attention just because NASDAQ looks a little bit stronger than the other ones. But overall, same bias. We have another imbalance here. Within that 5-minute imbalance, that bullish one, we have a bearish one here up front. this line right here is actually the opening line for the 1 hour. You guys can see it more on the right hand side here. I'm gonna put this at 65. Okay, you guys can see it a little bit better. This is the 9 a.m. candle, and the 9 a.m. really just dropped overall. So if we come above 9 a.m., I mean, that would be the most ideal. I wouldn't want the high of 9 a.m. to be the very start of it, but that's kind of where my eyes get drawn to, is this higher end of this range right here. But yeah, for indices across the board, I mean, we're super bullish, right? But I want to see what happens when we get into these areas up here. So I'm going to put an alert right there. I want to see what happens when we get to this upper area right here, because we had some relative equal highs up there. Okay, so maybe we come up a little bit higher there. I want to see what happens as we approach 50% and above of this one. But I do see us continuing the longs from the open. It does look very likely that that's going to be the case. Just some continuation on these longs. EU shorting off. We still got the areas defined. I stand by my areas. Some of these movements can happen very fast. This short right here made the most sense, right? We create an imbalance, we trade back into that imbalance, and then we pull away. Oh, happy Friday. Hey, good afternoon, Fabio. Good morning, Alexis. Yo, what's good, Gerardo? What's good, brother? Shibin, what's good, bro? Bro, you need to sweep the lows for it to be valid setup, or just overlap imbalance is enough in case for EU. To sweep the lows? No, we don't need to sweep the lows. For me, this shift of liquidity is enough. Like, we can shift the low, but I believe we're going to end up accumulating from this area right here. You see this unmitigated area? I think that's the area that's going to launch us back up here into this area right here. Because the opening, it kind of lines up with the opening price. If we end up accumulating for the opening price, then, you know, these guys are going to end up accumulating for the opening price around 9:30. And then, you know, probably on the dollar here, as we close above on the 15-minute, I want to see us return into this blue shaded box and then use it as support for price. So essentially, you'd be looking at something like this. Closure up here, and then continuation from there. That's what I'm basically looking for. Okay, but again, dollar came into a previous area of accumulation, distribution. EU did as well, and that might launch us back into those previous areas of distro in EU and previous areas of accumulation on dollar. This blue shaded area is something that we've been playing with for a while now. But I mean, when we traded into it, was a target. Then you can see here we traded away from it and used it as support, and then we used it as support as a target, then as resistance to move lower, then a support right here, and once again we used it as resistance, meaning in means of targets, right? And then now we're using it as a level of support. We've swept liquidity into it, and now we're ready to launch higher. That's why I'm pretty bullish. I'm pretty bearish on EU. I believe EU is going to continue dropping lower, and it's going to essentially take out this whole range. But EU, for me today, EU is looking like this low. Indices just, like I said, I'm pretty long on indices still. They may struggle, but I'm pretty long until we get to these areas. Until we get, Dow does look like it could just short from these areas, given. But I'm going to wait on Dow. I think Dow indices will be a 10 a.m. type of move today. The open will just be a continuation of what we already see. And then 10 a.m. after 10 a.m. we may get this nice reversal. Hey, good morning, Jerome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Super blessed week. EU honestly saved my month of November because I was in drawdown a little bit. And so EU has been very, very nice. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone's morning? How's everyone's morning today? I didn't want to trade today, to be honest, but honestly, on my personal account, I'm pretty good. I don't think I'll be touching that for the rest of the month. On my funded account, I still have room to trade, so I'm going to trade with my funded account today. I mean, my challenge account, sorry. You see these lows? This is that accumulation that I was talking about. Into this area. Zay said pretty good. Awesome. Same here, man. Every day this week that we've been together, me and my wife were just coming from the gym every day this week. Go to the gym, wake up, go to the gym. And from there, if we have time, we come back, we shower or we get ready or eat something real quick, and then we do the stream, or I do the stream. And it's honestly it's like morning wise, I love getting the gym out of the way early in the morning. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like I love getting the gym out of the way really early in the morning. It's my favorite. This is the area really when I wanted to see some potential shorts start showing. This first gap, I'm gonna take a very low risk initial short here. The only thing that I don't like is the 15 minute accumulating, but this is an area in which I wanted to see some shorts. So I put a fucking, again, the 15 minute is being respected, just letting you guys know. And I took a very low risk trade. So usually I'm risking about, I guess on this account, I'm risking a lot more. But usually on this account, 200K, I'm risking about $500. And on this one, I dropped 250. And again, it's because of the 15 minute. The 15 minute is so bullish. Dollar as well, kind of respecting this bearish order flow. We could be seeing lower dollar overall because we just took out previous hourly high and then just started melting, right? So unless this previous area of accumulation holds and we start accumulating from here, then we're just going to start melting down. But as I mentioned, I am in on EU from right here. And if we do come up here or show signs of redistribution on the 1 minute, I will be going short again and adding on that secondary risk. Yeah, if we rip through this area, if we continue to respect this 1 hour bullishness and just rip through the area, because all we did was take out internal liquidity down here. You guys can see higher high, higher low, higher high. Internal liquidity got taken out from the downside, and we can just trade a little bit deeper into that, taking out some more of this internal liquidity itself. And yeah, so I'm actually thinking that's gonna be the case. That's the story I'm telling myself now. So is it? Yeah, the 1 hour is not complementing here. The 15-minute would ideally would have been nice if it just broke. And then the 5 minutes, the only thing that's bullish here. Yeah, I'm going to say that's internal liquidity, and we're just going to continue dumping on dollar for a little bit. And yeah, I'm going to manually intervene with my EU short, and I'm going to wait for just a tad bit higher. Do you see how the 15-minute looks bullish? That's kind of what I'm going to wait for in terms of EU. Okay. And there it is. As soon as I close it, of course. Let's see what... New 15-minute candle opening. We'll see what happens above this previous 15-minute candle. Like, I'd be willing to take that as the internal liquidity instead within this range to go short. But I would like it more if we took out the liquidity first. I feel like if we do sweep that high, it's going to be pretty fast. An instant. I mean, it doesn't have to be this very next candle either. We got the 930 open on indices. We did tap into the high end of this. I do believe that we're still going to, for the most part, long. NASDAQ came into this previous day of accumulation. Objectives are pretty clear. SPX coming back a little bit deeper. EU dropping from that area. It's cool. Hopefully one of you guys didn't close it like I did, but if you did, I'm sorry. It is what it is, honestly. Red folder at 10 a.m. It just depends. Like, red folders are cool. It just depends what red folder it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with red folders. It just depends with what red folder it is. Because, yeah. I mean, and we've had plenty of red folders that don't do anything. So just really depending on what red folder is it. Kicking myself in the balls for that one. Holy shit. Just wanted it a little bit deeper. I was looking for you to hit that bearish fair value gap before selling off. It did hit bearish fair value gaps before shorting off. Maybe you're looking a little too high, but I mean, so was I. It's all good. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna come back that high. Guess I am gonna wait closer to 10 a.m. for potential entry, but I do think that this thing's gonna melt down. Indices are gonna essentially melt down as well. But just give me 1 second. We're gonna warm up some water and drink some tea real quick. Give me 1 sec. On the hourly. Okay, I think we're looking at two different imbalances then. Yeah, I was looking at this one. The one that was created to sweep this liquidity. That one's my manipulation imbalance right there. And then this is the same thing right here. The imbalance that was created to sweep this liquidity. That's my manipulation imbalance. That's where we're at. God damn it. Well, if you did take it and you didn't manually close or intervene with it, that's why you don't manually intervene with your trades. I was really hesitant about that shit. Really hesitant about intervening with it, especially because it was a lower risk. But from 50%, I mean, it's going. And like I said, I'm personally looking for that low down there, for EU to melt down to that low as a final objective. Intermediate objective is this previous daily low level that I think we're gonna be drawn to. Oh shit. I believe we're gonna be drawn to that previous daily low level, even though we already took it. Damn, look at me fucking manually intervening with this really good trade. Alright. Again, It can come back up over here, but we'll see. I stick with the buys, shorts. But I'll be right back. Give me just 1 sec. All right. What are we looking at? Looks like we are gonna get that short after all on DXY. Let's see. Let's see how the 15-minute is closing. Let me turn down the music a little bit. That shit's loud as fuck. Okay. $15 still looking bullish. 5 minutes the only thing that looks bearish here in my eyes. Yeah. Higher time frame and 5 minute lineup, but indices, those longs, as mentioned. We got this breaker right here. Imbalance. Deeper into that area, as we mentioned up here. That really gets my attention up there still. Nasdaq just popped off from that imbalance. I hope somebody snagged it while we were mentioning it in there. Right at the opening. Yeah. S&P as well. And again, just kind of looking at price action, guys. Look at price action. Right? Nice mitigation candle right here. We came right to it. Longs. Nasdaq's going, bro. It's going. It's got other plans, places to be, things to see. Places to be. Let's go. People to catch. Oh wait, as a Dow shorter, what the fuck is Nas doing? Yeah, I don't know. As Dow is going shorter like that, giving out a nice little distro schematic. I don't think Dow is done going long though. I think Dow is gonna continue going long through these two double tops right here. That's just me though. Like, don't. If you guys are short, then cool. Like, be short. But I believe we're not done going long yet. That might be a reason why Nasdaq's still doing something. Yeah. People to catch. NAS is going where Dow went. I think the same. Yeah. Yeah. But overall, I agree with you. I want to see shorts. Like, more long-term perspective, I want to see shorts. And currently, I think we're gonna see more longs. And this equal top gets my attention on Dow, but Dow's the weakest one. So necessarily, this is why I haven't been working these out. I've seen them throughout this whole morning session. It's weak. You know what I mean? That Dow's the weaker asset this morning, and so the accumulation here is pretty clean. The 1 minute accumulation, cool. If anybody snagged that, I believe that we're gonna continue popping off to the upside. S&P already took out 9 a.m.'s high, or initial high of 9 a.m. But overall, you know, S&P created some equal lows, which in my eyes are going to be some great targets for later to short this price action. DXY, EU is closing bullish on that 15-minute bullish order flow. I won't be adding any more to that. I'm kind of glad that I didn't. Just that I did listen to my intuition. Yeah, it needs to. We've taken out so much intraday downside liquidity that there's no. For me, it just makes sense for right now. The only reason that we're going higher is for some upside liquidity. So targets remain the same again, but I believe that we're going to take some liquidity to the upside across the board. And so ideally on EU, I'd want to see this high taken before I look for some distro. That was shorting off. Nasdaq and S&P going long. DXY just kind of doing its thing. Jeez. Nas, man. Nas was so simple. If we ended up shorting from here, look at where the imbalance is on NAS. Okay, I'm seeing your observation. So what does that tell us? Oh, yeah. Yeah, all three are in the same imbalance right now. Yeah, I haven't marked out. All three same imbalances. That's why I marked out the higher one on NASDAQ. Just because of that same reason. I marked out the same imbalance on the 4-hour on all four of them. Yeah, brother. Yeah, I've already marked all those areas out. It's exactly what I marked out already on the 4-hour. It's precisely exactly what I marked out. Bearish imbalance, bearish imbalance, bearish imbalance. The same one across all three. Usually when I mark an area out and I mark it out throughout all three assets, I make sure that I'm marking out the exact same timed area on all three. Dow, it's really like coming down. I'm trying to. I didn't think that EU would give us so much liquidity sweeps in that 50-minute bullish imbalance. It's just building up liquidity, yeah. It's a lot of liquidity. Damn, I'm personally not in this, unfortunately. Dude, EU respects structure so nicely. Not so much of these like deep liquidity sweeps as I'm used to on indices. This was really nice play. So whoever is in the shorts, good job. I believe indices are getting ready to short too. Except for NAS. I don't know about NAS. Gotta get a pretty good rejection on NAS. Dow's dumping to previous area of accumulation again. S&P is in a previous area of accumulation. Dow took out some more internal liquidity. Got news in like less than 8 minutes. If during those news events we come up here, oh my gosh, I'm pulling it. I don't know what news event it is. I don't think that there was anything really eventful this week, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. Yeah, there wasn't any eventful. It's consumer sentiment. That thing happens every week. It takes place every single week. There it goes. My heart's broken because I fucking closed that initial one, but here it is. That just kind of comes to show you guys, don't ever fucking close your trades manually. Just let that hit, let it hit take profit or stop loss. Oh man, fucking really good stretch right there. Really good stretch. Felt good. So look at how the hourly accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? AMD. The opening price for this 4-hour candle is right here, right? You get this whole accumulation. Manipulation. And then now you're getting the distribution. Curiosity on... Oh, wait. I don't think you would give us so many liquidity sweeps on the 15-minute. Yep. Curiosity on Dow, from what I've seen, if the bias is bullish, Dow will violate any 1-minute break. Same for bearish. Yeah, vice versa for bearish. Especially if you already took half the risk. Feel bad, bro. Don't remind me. Look at that hourly, dude. It's just fucking melting. Again, we got a previous area of accumulation here. But I mean, either way, I feel really proud about EU lately. EU's been fucking good to us, so I feel really good about EU lately. That risk would have been running about a 1 to 4. To that low is a 1 to 7. And towards internal liquidity, it'd be a long shot, but it is Almost a 1 to 20. Almost a 1 to 20. You made peace with EU. Yeah. I used to not really trade it as much. The assets that I used to trade a lot, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Euro, JPY. This is an asset I used to trade a lot. One of my top favorite assets to trade. Yeah. Top favorite assets to trade. Doesn't look as clean anymore to me. GBP, JPY. That one was probably my number one London trade, you know, asset. Damn, we went through all the highs that I mentioned previously here. Yeah, I mean, just continuation higher. It only makes sense. But for now, some nice distros. Come back down here. Continue moving up there. Or come back even deeper into this imbalance. The GJ used to be my fucking shit, dude. Like, that was my stuff. Yeah, this previous area of accumulation does look attractive, though. Swept all that liquidity. Has all these equal lows right below it. And finally, GA. GA was also my lover. GA was one. GA was probably like the hardest one to let go of. Not gonna lie. I had a hard time letting go of GA. Especially after catching like so many big trades on it. Yeah, I was trading it throughout all of this right here. All the longs, all the shorts, all the longs into the shorts. And then I stopped trading. And I stopped trading currencies and I went to indices. And since then, I haven't really looked at any currencies till now. There's news. And I would have taken a good chunk of profit there, like 50% off, because it could just return, go break even. Good chunk of profit gets taken off right there. And then, yeah. We return back into that blue shaded area. I'm looking at longs on NASDAQ, to be honest. Longs on Dow. And I actually like the longs on Dow a lot. If we get back into this shaded area, I would take it. We'll see first how we're coming. 1 minute, still walking itself down slowly. But again, I'm pretty confident in this area to continue going long. So I am going to long Dow. I just need to set mine up. My stop loss is going to be below that blue shaded area. I mean that orange shaded area. 1 second. 1 second. Wait for price action to do its thing. Let's see. Yeah, no, never mind. I won't be taking that though. Never mind. DXY is flying. Nasdaq's probably the only one, but yeah, no, it does look like we're just gonna short. It's cool. I don't see any imbalances. other than the one that I got highlighted, that big ass imbalance. Still holding GJ. I don't even look at it anymore. January 5th, 22. I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember the GJ. Yeah, I don't see any insufficiencies where I would have personally entered. Really, the only insufficiency that I saw was on the 1 hour here on the upper end, and then this bearish imbalance on the 4 hour. But nothing really on an intraday perspective that I would have took myself or would like to have participated in terms of shorts. DXY is almost, I already took it out. Took out the initial high of the day. EU failing to take out the initial high of the day. I mean the initial low of the day, right? The XY did take the initial low of the day. I mean high of the day. EU still kind of failing to do so, right? So take note of that. Take note of that. Yeah, I would have taken major partials already here on EU. I do think we'll potentially get a return down here and then push higher towards this double top. Four-hour is bullish. We just closed a 4-hour candle on EU. Bullish. We got the opening price of the 1 hour. NAS dropping. Again, no insufficiencies. We're on the 1 minute. There's not much imbalances that were provided in terms of entry. No entries so far. I'm not convinced that this is the high of the day. I'm not convinced that this is the high of the day. This looks like liquidity to me. Like an inducement to come take out that high, and then if we do short, I feel like this is the inducement to short. Excuse me. Okay, sorry, you lost me. Given NAS is bullish. Okay, wait. Due to the fact that we're very high on NASDAQ, but in SPX or Dow, we are close to the low, it's a probable scenario we swipe the lows on Dow and SPX. Given NASDAQ is bullish, given NAS the bullish divergence, it could be. I don't look at the bodies for divergence. I don't refer to bodies. I just look at wicks. It took out its previous high, 3 a.m. high. Dow took out its previous 3 a.m. high. And S&P took out its previous 3 a.m. high. We're trading about into that fair value gap. And over here we traded into that fair value gap. I don't see the divergence yet, but yeah. I like EU longs from here. because of that divergence on the dollar. Dow too. I like the longs on Dow. Longs on Dow. Longs on S&P. Didn't take out the previous low. Dow did. Nasdaq didn't. Yeah, I'm long on Dow. See the opening of that 4-hour candle or that 1-hour candle? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Yeah, this imbalance gets my attention for you. And again, it's just bullish divergence with the dollar. Yeah, I am in on EU longs. And this one's gonna be DXY divergence. I know we initially wanted shorts all around for indices, and we may get that, but just the way that the dollar is moving right now, took out previous high, we're in a previous area of accumulation. We are distributed on the lower time frames. The 5-minute we're still bullish. We could go higher, I mean, and then EU continue to go lower. It's definitely probable. And indices like short and short hard for the day. We are in previous areas of distribution. There's just no liquidity for indices. Like there was no liquidity taken on indices. And that's probably like the main thing that's missing for me in this range is just liquidity. We can dump, right? We can dump. Like, trust me, I could see it dumping. We are in previous areas of distributions across the board. It makes sense for us to dump. But I just don't see any internal liquidity within our ranges. So that what makes me the most hesitant that we are the internal liquidity. Like these current highs are the current internal liquidity. So personally just going to be a little bit cautious with that in terms of the short. But hey, if it plays out, it plays out. And then the 5-minute here on DXY looks pretty bullish, like it's just going to continue. The trade that I took may take me out. That's fine. I mean, it's going to happen. Right? And then, yeah. But I'm going to be hesitant about shorting indices. I know that was our initial bias, but yeah. I'm going to be very hesitant about shorting indices. And I may not even short them, given that I'm already in EU longs. But I am in EU longs. Okay? I am in EU longs. I would love Dow longs as well from this imbalance. I think it's going to respect it and just go higher. Yeah. EU's kind of leaving the area, kind of. Not quite strongly yet, as strongly as I would prefer it to. If the XY ends up dumping from here, then we're looking at some lows and just a deeper retracement into this range that swept the previous daily low, and this one that swept the previous daily high. Right? If that range is correct, then we're looking at 50% and below into this previous area. Trading into previous areas of distribution on NASDAQ. Previous areas of distribution on Dow. Previous areas of distribution on EU as well. I'm going to go break even on EU just because, yeah. It is Friday and I don't want to continue risking more, to be honest. I did get in pretty well. I mean, I got in at 50% of this imbalance. Right there. Stop loss below the low of the imbalance. One of 420. Almost 104. Almost a 104.20. That's funny as fuck. Yeah, I'm risk free. Break even. I'm gonna leave this trade be. I guess I'm not really at break even, but my stop loss is below the low of the imbalance. It's like right here, like right there. That's how tight my stop loss is right now. Basically break even. Oh shit. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the messages too much. When I'm like about to take a trade, I deviate from looking at the messages. It's not that I don't want to talk to you guys or listen to anything that you guys say. It's just sometimes I like to keep it less opinionated, like less opinions into my trade, the better. Just kind of more like a straight thought. Yeah, I mean, EU has been on fucking point. But all right, so I'm break even on that. Back to the questions. Bro, EU short. Sad face. Sorry, Alexis. Okay, we already went over that. And then gold longs. Waiting on gold longs. Scratch that. By the way, you changed the background music. Loving the jazz. Yeah. So you know what? All I did is up the volume because I was listening to my recording from a couple of days ago, and it's like almost non-existent. Like I've been hearing it, but on my recordings, like you can barely even hear any of it. So I just upped the volume a little better so that way you guys can hear it. But the playlist that we do play on throughout the call is on the description. It should be like on audio, video credits. DXY kind of doing a little bounce out of this area right here. Of this previous area of accumulation. This is that monthly gap that we are just fucking playing with left and right on every single time frame. Yeah. This is that monthly gap that we just been playing with across the board. Indices, previous areas of distribution being respected. Previous areas of distribution being respected across the board. Previous area of distribution being respected. And so is EU. But hey, if this takes me out, I'm totally fine with it. As DXY. Looks likely that we're just going to continue accumulating. Again, this is why we have these levels. It's not to like tell us where price action is going to go. You know, it's not to predict the market. It's just they're there in case they are being respected. Then cool, we're going to continue moving upwards. And then in that case, you start looking at some upwards liquidity, right? If we respect the downside ones, then you start looking at what? The downside liquidity. So it's just kind of looking at all of these levels, right? The higher the time frame the level comes from, the stronger the conviction might be. This is from the monthly time frame, right? So again, giving us a little bounce, waiting for full candle closures. This is the 5 minute. I'm gonna get off the 5 minute. I'm gonna go in the 1 hour. Cool. Well, guys, I mean that's it for me, honestly. On terms of EU longs, the target is that imbalance on the 1 hour, I believe. Right? We are super bearish on this 1 hour. So within this range, the final target is that high, is that imbalance right there. But within this range, there wasn't DXY divergence. That wasn't the low. That was the previous daily low. Huh. No, there was DXY divergence. DXY took out this low. EU didn't. So yeah, there was DXY divergence regardless. It was just a lot lower. I drew it from over here and it's from over here. But it still stands. Just a lot lower. Okay, so in terms of target, this high, this first high right here, these two right here, or this blue shaded area, previous area of distribution, I'll take some partials there. That's the first partial. It's a 1 to, no, at the 1 to 3, which is that first high. So 50% and above of that little range, that's the first partial. And because it is Friday, I'm going to take 50% off right there. And then I'm going to let the rest ride to that high, which is a 104. 104. You might as well go to that high right there. 7,100. I like whole numbers. 7,100. Either way, I'm at break even. Partials. It is Friday. Don't overdo it. Don't add any more. You guys are good. I promise you. You don't need more than what we've already done today. Okay. It's enough today. Yep. All right, guys. Yeah, that is going to be it for me. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. Really good week in terms of EU. Not too much on indices. I believe my heart broke on Tuesday with indices, and that's when I really just didn't look at them anymore. But yeah, no, my heart broke from these longs. They were so clean across the board on Tuesday. Across the board, everything accumulated very nicely. And it was right here, yeah, Tuesday, right here. Oh, Jerome went long right here on this, on Dow, to those equal highs. I mean, they just long so nicely. So, yeah. There's the accumulations on indices. S&P failed to take out the 9 a.m. low. Dow took the 9 a.m. low. And NASDAQ failed to take the 9 a.m. low. So again, we have some divergence there, bullish divergence. That's why I'm still long on indices, and bullish divergence on EU and that's why I remain bullish on EU. I know that this is going kind of back and forth, back and forth. I'm not really expecting anything crazy on a Friday, but hey, I'm risk free. If you're not risk free, you should be. And there's a gap right here. I can't find it though on this feed. There's a volume gap that we just came down to. This one right here. So I remain bullish. All right. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Clap easy. Trade responsibly. And I will talk to you on Monday. Peace.